All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Michael D Show here on Podcast Juice. We on video today, ladies and gentlemen. Joining me today is Mr. Big Sexy and Saxer. How are you?
Man, today, after I wrap up here, got to zip downtown, deal with a client, and then do my thing, man. Do my thing.
Okay. Well, we can actually see into your world a little bit, man. You got I see all the trade paperbacks.
Omnibuses?
Omnibuses, excuse me, back there. I see is that the Prince guitar up there?
Yes, it is.
Is that the Chris Jenner Wheaties box that it's in front of?
That is Marc McGuire, man.
I'm just fucking with you.
And Anthony, if you look to the right of McGuire, yes, that is the Michael Hayes album from 1984.
Really? You still rocking with the Freebirds?
Somebody sent me that, and I'm like, cool. It was nice of them to send it to me.
Okay.
All right. And next up, we have, you just heard his voice and you see him already, Mr. Ant Pooh. Sir, how are you?
I'm doing good. Unlike Mark, I ain't got a goddamn thing to do.
Wow, fail.
I've been on vacation since last Friday, and my black ass ain't going back to work till next Wednesday.
All right. You're not fumbling the mic, are you? Fumbling the bag. That's all right. Well, welcome, sir. Thanks for letting us welcome into your world. And also, he hasn't been on the show in quite some time. Let me walk with me a little bit. Let me set this up. So
there we go.
I reached out to my man. Q.
Why are you going? Why?
Do I have to mute his mic? So I said, Q, man, been on the show. Let's do a show, man. Get you on. Yeah. Okay. I'm only free during this time and that time. Whoop de whoop. I'm like, cool. How about Wednesday? We're recording this on Wednesday. Yeah. I think I can do that. Now that should have been my first impulse. My niggledy spider sense was ringing. Here we go. Okay. So put the time aside, and I'm put some time aside. I call up the fellas. I'm here to call the fellas up. Day of the show. Mike. Well, what had happened was I whoop de whoop.
Whoa.
And I'm like, all right, cool. That's cool. Hey, that's cool. But let me say this, I said my little piece, So, all right, Mike, click. Then I guess he must have got a little bit of black guilt, brother man guilt got to him. So he called. First I see he texted on Discord, Mike, go ahead and send me the link. I'll jump on. No doubt. Then he called me up. Hey, what's up? Hey, Mike, just go on and send me the link, man. I'll jump on when I. Anyway, let me stop clowning. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Q Storm, sir, how are you?
Now, see, if this was on a Discord chat and I did that, you snitching. You snitching. Why you snitching? See how we do? Wow. That's why I'm glad I was listening to Joe Biden, because he told me I'm black.
Oh, Lord.
All right.
Oh, okay.
Here we go.
For sure.
Starting early.
For sure. Now we'll just get right into it. Let me jump us into the view. So let's talk. The first one I want to talk about is Joe Biden. And let me say, I can say up front, I voted for Joe. I'm Biden all day in terms of the vote. So I can talk my shit then, right? Because a lot of people say you can't say nothing if you didn't vote. So not only did I vote, but I voted for Joe.
Wait,
go ahead.
Mike, do you pay taxes?
Do I pay taxes? Of course.
Do you pay taxes to the United States of America?
I do, yeah. Hey, I'm just going by the talking points that they'll say you can't say. So I made sure I checked all my boxes, so I don't want to hear anything. I voted like my life depended on it. Anyway, welcome back.
You're tripping.
So I saw this come across the internet, and I was like, really, what's going on? So let me post that up there. So here's the deal.
Stop it.
Chip in now.
Here's the deal. Because
Pass the Biden, huh?
because President Trump refused to concede and is delaying the transition, we have to fund it ourselves, and we need your help. Well, if you're able, chip in to help fund the Biden-Harris transition.
Creflo Dollar wrote that. The way them words are going.
Now, some of you will say, well, this happened before Trump, wasn't going to concede properly, and they didn't want to do the whole transition thing. But now we have seen that Trump has released the funds.
Oh, he did?
Yes, he did. Did he? I don't know.
Wrong.
Q-Storm is more of an expert at political matters. So has he gave up some money?
Trump didn't do shit. It was his administration.
For sure. Right. But they've got the money. So you would think that tweet I just showed you was old fake news and they've taken it down. But no, that is an active website where they're asking for money. You can donate as much as $5,000. Like that's an option. There's options in there that's pre-written. I'm like, damn.
Oh, hell no.
This is what we're going to be doing for the next. Go ahead, man. Jump in. Help me understand what this is.
Are you trying to suggest that Joe Biden's the first politician to ask the public for money?
Not at all.
During a transition?
I don't know. Is that ever happened?
During a transition where they weren't releasing the funds before?
But they are now.
Before?
They are
now, but it's still a fundraise. It's still fundraising. I don't care.
Has it happened before? At a
I don't see the
transition?
issue.
You don't
So,
see the issue.
so that's a no.
I didn't hear your question because I wasn't paying attention. I was talking. Anyway,
Has it happened during a transition bbefore?
no, because
Thank you.
transition. And no,
Thank you.
I know you're an attorney, but I'm not. I'm putting everybody down with it. It don't. It's never happened in a transition where the previous administration refused to release the PDB, Presidential Daily Briefing, and the money for the transition. So
That's
it's
fascinating. So
given
no.
circumstances. Nothing is written in stone. I know some of us would like for things to be black and white, but they're not.
So fascinating. So the answer is no.
The answer is no because of the
Thank you.
situation.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Peanut.
What do you say? Oh. No, okay. Okay.
Well,
But just to be clear,
go ahead.
the Trump administration has released the funds, but Biden's still passing the hat around.
Why shouldn't he? It's fundraising. Every politician in the history of the country has done that.
Not Mike, but so Biden's still passing the hat around, even though he has funds released.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Hashtag, what did you get him on? I'm saying.
So he's passing the hat around for a transition that he has money for.
And you're mad why?
No, I'm just asking you a question.
Yeah, he's
let me ask this.
I've answered that question a number of times already.
But
Fundraising for what?
didn't he raise like $1 billion?
I don't know how much. I know he outraised Trump. I don't know how much.
So what is he fundraising for?
Because that money would get that's like you saying we get paycheck.
Why does he
need
need
another paycheck for?
Why does he need reparations?
Man,
It sounded like he asked you for a handout.
I froze. What happened?
You did freeze.
right there on that spot. What was that all about? Hilarious.
got the eyes all bucked out and everything.
I'm still waiting for an answer. No, what is he fundraising?
I want my Popeye sandwich. He's fundraising.
But I'm done. Fundraising for what?
What do most politicians fundraise for?
Shit, they fundraise for a campaign.
Yeah, that he already won.
Democrats fundraise and Republicans fundraise throughout the
So I'm asking again, what is he fundraising for? He went through the campaign. He's been elected. So what are these fundraise? What is the fundraising being raised for?
For the Democratic Party. They have to. How do they pay their bill? When you get your check,
that's not.
When you get your check, are you going to say, "I don't need no more checks"? I got the check.
That's not what he's saying. He's saying for the transition, which he has money.
What difference does it make what he's saying is for? It's fundraising. So it's not going to go for the transition. It's going to go.
So you're cool with him lying?
Yes, I am. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Because I understand.
Okay.
I know how it works.
You understand that you
okay.
can lie to get funds for something that he's not saying he's going to use the funds for.
I believe we call that fraud.
That makes sense.
Yes,
What you just said makes
that would
sense
be
to you.
fraud.
But I'm saying I don't care what he calls it. I understand that since I've been alive, politicians have been asking for money. What difference does it make to me what they use it for or what they don't use it for? As long as it's going into funding the Democratic Party, I don't give two shits.
No, and hey, that's the opinion of this particular African American.
Wow.
You don't speak for everybody, but there's people that probably don't have a problem with it. Now he's catching some hell on Twitter over this. There's some
But they ain't black.
From who?
Well, see, that's the other question. If you don't donate, are you not black?
Who's he catching hell from? I'm just curious.
Oh, look on his. I don't know their standings one way or the other. Some people say they.
I wonder if they're
Some people say they didn't. I think a lot of the people on his thing saying they did vote for him, and they're like, I don't understand why you're asking me for money. When we're in a pandemic and people are already hurting, I thought they were supposed to be giving us stimulus checks. It just seems weird that a guy that says I've raised $1 billion or millions of dollars far beyond the reach of normal citizens, knowing that the economy the way it is and people are out of work, would then come back to you and say, well, I do have it back thanks to you. But now, can you pay for this? It's like there's probably people that can't really afford to pay their rent and different things, and now you're asking them to give you money. We already voted like our life depended on it. Mm-hmm. So what else? So now we're supposed to pay for the transition.
Here's the thing.
Again, that he got money for.
Did he send hitmen out and put guns to everybody's head to press the button to send him more money, or did he leave the free choice?
Pay your damn bill, man.
I don't even think.
Or is he forcing you to do it?
No, nobody forced you to vote, right? They shamed you into it, but they didn't force you into it. And just like this, they're not forcing you.
You can be shamed into voting.
Many people, you know the tactics, right? Your life depends on it. Your ancestors did it.
You ain't black.
You ain't black. He did it, right? You ain't black. Is that not a shame to black voters?
Yeah, that's
I guess I'm not that thin-skinned.
Right. I know you're like the outside of all of this. You have no problem with the thing. I get it. But you understand a normal person why they would be like if Trump was like, can you pay for my transition out of office? Would that seem ridiculous? I
would expect him to do that.
I know I said, but would
he is raising money right now. Some politicians are saying the reason he extended this whole transition thing just to raise money off of it. That's the game. I get the game.
I get the game too. I'm just saying, do you think it's ridiculous?
I don't think it's ridiculous. I expect it.
Are you telling us then, when he got elected, great, all that, his election coffers are now empty?
I didn't say anything like that.
I didn't say you did. I'm just asking you a question.
You said, "Are you saying that?" And I said, "I didn't say anything like that."
Are we to believe they're empty?
No.
I see. So the existing money he has isn't enough to cover his nut for the transition?
I have no idea, but I do know that just because he has money doesn't mean it's not going to get spent.
No, it's going to get spent.
He needs to refill his coffers.
I see. With the money that has been released by the Trump administration.
But if he can make more money, why not? That is the capitalistic society we live in.
We'll remember.
Oh, yeah, I'm brand new. I don't get it.
He's going to be on the median. Will president for food, man. Oh, yeah. Out there, hand out.
Hey, if it comes to that.
Are you going to donate, Q?
I will throughout the year. Yes, I will.
No, I mean, are you going to donate for the help the transition?
If I had the money, sure.
So that's enough.
I didn't know he was. I really didn't know he was still doing it.
Yeah, you can do $15. I guess you can write in a number.
$5 big.
There you go. So yeah, man,
a crisp $5 bill.
Now Trump just released the money. What, 2 days ago?
I don't know. I guess yeah.
So, I mean, I'll give the brother a week to take it down. I mean, he's
you give him a week. You give him a week to take in the money and then take it down, or would he give all the money?
Again, back? I don't care. I'm not mad.
Oh, you just said you give him a week. I was just trying to. So after a week, you think it'd be ridiculous?
Huh?
So you're the way you just stipulated. Are you saying like after a week?
After a week, I would say, yeah, they might want to change that phrasing.
Interesting. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, like I said, you can definitely donate. I look at that. Maybe that is his that's his Patreon or something. You know, hit like and subscribe to the Biden campaign. Send him a super chat. You know.
That's the office money fund. That's office party fund.
Oh, why he don't just put a Cash App link on there? Really, that might be easier for people to give money to.
You know, commonly relaxing don't come for free. So hey.
Wow. Imagine somebody else said that, boy. Their career be over. I see somebody on Fox. Well, you know, Kamala's relaxer doesn't come for free. Chop. They walk his ass out. His apology tweet, and he'd be done. All right, let's move on. Unless anybody else got anything to say about this?
Yeah, I got something to say.
Go ahead.
I was listening to him speak. He was doing a Thanksgiving, whatever, come together, that whole thing. It was refreshing hearing a president that can make sentences and had a vocabulary. But I will say it was weird. It's like the last 4 years have been a dream. And it's weird for me. I'm going to say it's weird for me after living with Obama for 8 years. It's weird to see a white man up there as president. It didn't seem right to me. I was thinking I wanted to see a brother up there. You all right, Mike?
No, go ahead. We'll listen to you.
I said what I had to say.
You chased Mike off the set, man. Damn.
You're reminding me of something.
Uh-oh.
That I wanted to also, but keep going.
Did he freeze?
No.
I'm here.
Okay.
No, I was just saying it was weird seeing a white man, a sane, well, relatively sane white man standing up there as president.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. Let me see. I don't know. This might be some of the sentiment.
It's
Stop, Mike. Come on.
It's easier to be a parent this morning. It's easier to be a dad. It's easier to tell your kids character matters. It matters.
Was that you, Q?
Telling the truth matters. Being a good person matters.
I don't know. You don't want to forward it and say
it's easier for a whole lot of people.
It's on YouTube, sir.
If you're Muslim in this country, you don't have to worry if the president doesn't want you here. If you're an immigrant, you don't have to worry if the president's going to be happy to have babies snatched away or send dreamers.
It's all right.
Back for no reason.
This nigga.
This is a vindication for a lot of people who have really suffered.
Are y'all frozen?
You know,
Where's Lucia with the cake?
You know, that wasn't just George Floyd. There was a lot of people that felt they couldn't breathe. Every day you're waking up and you're getting these tweets and you just don't know. And you're going to the store and people who have been afraid to show their racism are getting nastier and nastier to you. And you're worried about your kids and you're worried about your sister. And can she just go to Walmart and get back into her car without somebody saying something to her?
So if you want to see more of that, you can find that online. I forgot about that. I meant to ask QQ about that because I remember the last, when Trump won, Cats was doing that for different reasons. Now
I don't remember black people crying because Trump won, but go ahead.
Well,
okay.
But
I remember black people were pissed off, but not crying.
Nah, there was some crying.
I thought there was somebody in the room that was crying.
I know you're not talking about me.
Yeah, everybody talking about you.
Nah, you got the wrong one.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Should we go to the chat?
I have cried. Listen, I have cried on the show.
Let me stop.
Usually it has to do with children or young people.
Right.
But Trump, I've never cried over Trump. I've expressed anger, but I've never cried over Trump. Don't even do that.
Okay.
Okay.
I could be.
Show me the receipts.
Nevertheless, what did you think about? And we'll go around the room. What did you think about Van? I mean, is it that happy? Do you feel the same way without the crying?
Who, me?
Yeah.
honestly, when he won, it wasn't. I was expecting to be like when the Colts went to the Super Bowl. I don't get excited about them. When the Colts went to the Super Bowl, I was running around the house, and then I sat down. I was like, "Who the fuck? What?" But I was expecting to do that when Trump won, but I was like, "Okay, fine, cool, let's keep it moving." I understand why he was acting like that. I mean, I get it, but and we all know if he would have broken down like that in the church, in the black church, everybody would be like, "All right, take your time, brother. Take your time. Take it." Nobody would be clowning him. That's
yeah, they would.
It's critical, man. Anyway, having said that, I don't think it's a good look for him to be crying on TV. I don't. But I'm not going to revile him for it. I wouldn't do it myself. I would advise him, Van, listen, dude, please don't cry. Don't cry. Hold it until you get home, bro. I feel you on that, but not on TV. But hey, I'm not going to disparage him for that.
No, I feel you. And I'm clowning just as I would clown anybody. It's all in jokes. You know, I wouldn't necessarily do that on TV, but I saw it as, I look at Van as really one of the ultimate hustlers. You know, he understands the game, and he plays it at a higher level, because just as much as he's doing that, and before he was on CNN, you know, kind of seemed like he was on Democrat side. You see the pictures of him kikiing, you know, all booed up with Trump and his family, laughing, you know, doing all that. So he understands how to play both sides and, you know, where the opportunity lies. So I think he saw was to strike at that moment. Like, tonight is the night. It's going down. Let me throw on let me do that whole act and get on this side. So I saw it as game personally, but.
Exactly. Because I still remember tonight, President Trump was presidential. I remember seeing his ass go up into the White House bragging about the reform bills, and when Katherine Johnson got released, and talking about how he is cool with, I think it was Donald Trump Jr. So I'm like, if you was cool with the Trumps for that, why are you over here crying, talking about now that he's gone, it's a better day in America? Because according to you, by your actions, you was getting shit done with the Trumps, but now you crying? So yeah, fuck out of here with that.
Big sex.
You know what? It didn't affect me one way or the other, man. I'm kind of like what Q was saying. Look up, yeah, he won. All right, cool. I got work to do. You know, I remember that episode of South Park when Obama won the first time. People all in the streets acting out. Yeah. Fuck all that. But I got responsibilities, so I had things to do, and I kept doing my thing.
Okay.
Now, the question is, though, with any type of election or accolade, now that you have it, what are you going to do with it? And that's where the fun begins.
Right. What do you mean by that? Say that again.
Well,
now that you have it, what are
you going to do with it? You know, he's talking all this.
What's the it you're referring to?
What?
What's the it you're referring to?
Presidency, man. He's now a president. That's what he wanted. That's what he got. What's he going to do with it? Let's see what he does with it.
Okay. Well, I mean, he did one thing. You can look for as Black people. You can look forward to was it the lift? No, I'm stating facts. The lift every voice initiative, right? Wasn't that what it's called? So I think that outlines what you can expect from African Americans' point of view. You know. So there you go.
He's told us what he plans to do. The biggest thing he said was he's going to raise taxes on people earning $400,000 or more. That's the first. He's going to, I believe he's going to reestablish Obamacare. Now, with a Republican Senate, how's he going to do that? We don't know. But that's what he plans to do.
Got it. All right. Any more presidential?
As long as he gets a new education secretary, I'm good. You know, because that last chick was just killing these kids, man.
Does she leave when the different team comes in?
She gets fired. That's what
she gets fired. Yeah.
Interesting. All right. Moving on. Let's change gears here. Jump into Black Panther 2. So it has been announced now. Well, It's not officially been announced, but I say if it was in the Hollywood Reporter or Variety, they only really report on pretty much official news or things that have been told to them from official people. So they have come out and said that Black Panther 2 is going to start shooting in July of next year. And apparently, I'm not familiar with this guy, Tanuch Hirata. I'm butchering his name, but he stars in Narcos Mexico, which is a Netflix show.
Oh yeah.
He's supposed to be in talks to be the villain of the show, of the movie.
But we don't know who the villain's going to be, though.
We don't know who that is or how many.
Who are Black Panther villains?
Shit.
Namor. Who else? Killmonger.
Claw.
Oh, that's right.
M'Baku.
Seen him.
Shit, I don't know enough, man.
Yeah, he don't have a deep bench, does he?
Not really.
And they said everyone is Lupita, Winston, Angela, and Latita. Is that her name? Letitia, right? Letitia. They're all coming back, and Miss Wright is going to have a more significant role, but it doesn't seem to say she is going to have like the lead role, which is interesting to me because then that would, in my opinion, sort of implies that doesn't necessarily mean she's going to be Black Panther, and it doesn't mean that there won't be T'Challa in this movie. Now, Marvel has officially said they're not doing a CGI Chadwick Boseman in this. So I'm kind of speculating. I wonder, are they going to just continue with Black Panther and maybe they're holding this off for a big announcement, but they're going to announce a different actor to play Black Panther? What do you guys think?
See, I think that would be a mistake. And personally, I said on the Discord, I've always been about, at least when it comes to the major characters, I've always been about staying true to the books, to for the most part, right? So this thing about Letitia being the Black Panther, or Shuri being the Black Panther, if it happened in the books in any arc whatsoever, I'm all for it. Don't try to replace T'Challa. Just let her rock the costume if it was in the books.
Well, let me ask you this. That's a good point. In the books, does she become Black Panther because T'Challa is dead?
Didn't he go? I mean, y'all would know better than I do. Didn't he go and patrol Chelsea or what's it called? Up in New York, I should know. Hell's Kitchen when Daredevil was out doing something, and then Shuri took over for him in Wakanda. I don't know.
I think that's true. So the answer to my question would be no, he didn't die. Right.
Right. But he doesn't have to die in the movies either, I don't think.
Well, okay. That's why I'm wondering. Are they going to kill T'Challa in the movies? Because that's not in the books, right? Or just recast him and it still be the Black.
Then look what they did with Robert Downey Jr. in Endgame. They killed him off, right?
Well, the story dictated that.
So I'm saying,
do you think if Robert Downey Jr. just he said, I wanted more money and I'm not coming back to this, would you think they would kill Iron Man at that point or recast him?
If Robert Downey Jr. said he wants more money?
Yeah, before you got to Endgame, if he did, Winter Soldier, he was in that. And then he said, you know what? I need more money or I'm not playing this in Infinity War. Do you think they would the movie would start and they would kill off Iron Man, or would they have recasted him?
You froze. I think I heard the question now. No, I don't think they kill him.
Okay. Ampu, what do you think on this? What do you think they might do with Black Panther?
I think they're going to move with replacing T'Challa with Shuri as the Black Panther, and that's going to be something that I'm absolutely not going to like. To me, I feel that there are more stories to be told with T'Challa as Black Panther. And, Chadwick Boseman, rest in peace. He was a great actor. He did amazing things. But the character deserves to move on. There are really great Black male actors out there that can fill in and play the role. And go ahead and send your hate to me. he was in one full movie. He was in parts of 3 others. So it's not like he gave definitive performances in the vein of Robert Downey Jr. where you're like, oh, nobody else can be Tony Stark. We got one great performance and nice little scenes in 3 others. So I don't think it's
interesting.
It's the truth. And so someone can step in, and I will go ahead and say this as well. If James Bond can be replaced multiple times, then Sean Connery can be replaced, and they can replace the actor playing James Bond multiple times, and that franchise goes on, and it's still, I believe, it is the most successful character franchise of all time. Then it can be done with Black Panther, especially since Black Panther's franchise was just beginning.
They replaced the Hulk, didn't they?
Yep.
Several times, yes.
And of course, we replace, what's the other Iron Man guy's name?
They replaced Spider-Man.
Rhodey.
Well, yeah, they replaced Spider-Man. Rhodey, yeah, he's got.
Yeah, Terrence Howard had to go.
Superman several times.
I got to be on my hashtag.
Batman several times.
Hashtag that's different.
Hell, you got Captain America being played by a Human Torch. So.
Huh?
No.
They replaced the Fantastic Four.
Wasn't the Human Torch? Isn't the? I'm saying.
Yeah.
Isn't the Human Torch now Captain America in the movies?
Yeah.
The Human Torch.
Yeah, actor. Yeah.
Y'all, all those are apples and oranges as far as
those are all facts. I'm just saying.
All apples and oranges.
They have multiple people playing these characters.
Yeah, but there's other things that happen. I think the movie going public is more wise because there's so much access to behind the scenes, what's going on, and behind on the set that we factor that in, and that's what allows us to accept. Like when you see Bond, you see Sean Connery or Roger Moore, when they got these crow's feet in here and all that, you accept the fact, okay, they got to replace the actor. Chadwick Boseman was not, he was a young man. So to replace him now, after only...
Chadwick Boseman is 43.
He's a young man, like I said.
Well, but then to Ann's point, he really is only acted in one full movie, and he just had scenes. Though some may say those are great scenes, they were just scenes in other movies. So he doesn't have a long track record of playing that character.
But honestly, come on, y'all.
Sure. No, and think about it in terms of that was the past, and they've got tons. They got another 20 years of, I'm sure that they have mapped out where 10, 20 years from now, I don't think the kids of today would even blink an eye of Black Panther from whatever year that came out. They're not going to even think about it. They'll be like,
sometimes they don't know how to.
They won't even care about that. They won't even care. They'll care about Black Panther.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying, I'm going to speak for myself, and I think if you're being honest with yourself, when you think about Chadwick Boseman, and like you and I had this conversation offline, I was the one who said, I don't know if I'm ready to call him a legend. And I got told, and I said, well, okay, I see it. Maybe he is a legend. So he is. You see Chadwick Boseman in that role as a Black man. You don't see him just playing Black Panther. You see, he brought James Brown.
Right.
He brought Thurgood Marshall. Right. He brought Jackie Robinson into that role. It was more than just him playing Black Panther. So the dude deserves respect. Don't replace him after $1 billion movie.
And I agree with some of what you say, but I say for the simple fact that, yes, he was an iconic actor. He played multiple classic roles. But I actually think that, and I've said this before too, the characters are bigger than the actors. Absolutely. And though in the moment it's hard for us to sort of even think of recasting that, but I just say this is just a moment. 10 years from now, you're not going to be concerned about all this the actor. You'll only be concerned if those movies were any good and if the person they brought in killed it. Because to me, the same way I would think of Blade. It is so far removed from the original Blade, though for me personally, I wish they had Wesley Snipes. I understand why they're not going to. I don't know why I'm looking at that camera. But I would imagine once Mashar Ali or whatever his name, when he gets that, he's probably going to kill that. And it'll be his own thing. And we'll have forgotten all about the Wesley movie. The kids of today who ain't never seen those movies because they were R-rated anyway, this will be their Blade. and it'll be right along Spider-Man and all the rest of them. The characters are bigger than the actors.
I'm not saying I'm on my Ian Malcolm now. I'm not saying you can't do it, but maybe they should stop to think if they should. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
What did Star Wars do about Carrie Fisher?
They CGI'd her.
And then they killed her character.
And I was saying then, replace her, get Helen Mirren or get someone else to the story of Princess Leia.
I'm with you on this one. You can't replace iconic characters like that. That's just my opinion.
You all clown Star Trek about it not having a theme park, and they tried to do them new movies. Now you're gonna tell me replace Carrie Fisher? Come on.
Star Trek, which has shown that it can't sustain a ride in a hotel, is totally different from replacing Carrie Fisher.
Well, but it's not different in the fact that it proves that you can't replace iconic characters. That's why there's no theme park.
Star Trek theme park was iconic?
I'm saying to you that Star Trek proves all these characters are overpowered. That's why you can't replace Carrie Fisher.
Yeah, Carrie Fisher or Mark Hamill. I'd actually, and I know everyone would hate this, I personally would rather see all CGI prequel movie with the original cast, it aged the way they were back then. I wouldn't be mad if they did an all CGI movie like that, but I know people would be probably crying. But
I could be okay with the CGI, like for instance, Colossus versus Hulk fight too. That'd be cool. Colossus would lose, but it'd still be cool.
Speaking of X-Men, and I got to thank my brother Afro Nerd. Check out his podcast for bringing this.
Oh no!
What happened? I ain't even saying.
I know where we're going.
But apparently, I haven't been. I was following the new X-Men stuff for a little bit, but I never picked up on this. But apparently, in the new issues of the X-Men, they're trying to. I guess the speculation is that. Well, first off, Jean Grey is in the middle of Logan, Wolverine, and Cyclops, like normally, but I think more in the middle, like they literally all in the bed together. Is that what they were trying to say? Or that knowingly she's for the mutant streets and she's with Logan, and then she'll go jump in. Their rooms are all connected. She'll go from one nut to the next. Like I didn't know they was doing that in the comics. I thought that was really bold. And I'm like, okay, they on some player shit. You know, the X-Men getting it in. And I'm like, after all these years looking at these comic books and the costumes, I'll be like, damn right, look how they dress. Like, I would imagine you know how the female characters in the X-Men are all, you know, tight fitting and all sexually outfits and stuff, and they out there fighting and jiggling.
As your counsel.
Well, I'm just saying, I can imagine that the male characters are like, God damn. You know, so maybe they're getting it in. But I was like, wow, this is really bold. I didn't know this was going on. I didn't know Claremont came up with this. But apparently, not only are they sharing Jean Grey, but I guess Wolverine is busting down Cyclops. Like when did they start doing this? They're sleeping together. And hey,
that has not been confirmed yet. I don't think.
Ain't gonna.
That's why I said speculation. But
No.
I was like, where are they drawing? Are they reaching? Is that what this is? They reaching?
Ain't gonna happen. Now the line I saw in one of the articles, it was like Wolverine made a comment about Cyclops wearing a Speedo. He's like, yeah, I'm in for that. Clearly, contextually, he was making a joke.
Them jeans, boy.
He was making a joke. There is no way that's going to happen.
Wolverine was like, I got this healing ability. I can come back real quick. I can bust one off. I'm ready, you know.
Okay, Mark.
Wow.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna hurt your sensibilities. Wolverine is 150 years old.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
He's been in Asia,
That's right.
Europe, South America, probably Africa as well. You really don't think he ain't dipped in it and dabbled? Come on, bro.
Have
I don't,
Come on.
I don't understand the reason.
Have you?
Because you live a long time, you're gonna go gay.
Wait.
Dan, have you
Wow.
I have
dipped and
not.
dabbled?
I have not.
And why is that?
Because I'm a hetero man. We don't
As-
know.
as is
if
Wolverine.
Wait, do you know that for a fact?
Put it this way: I've been reading Wolverine since 1974.
Has he straight? No. Okay, that's where you've been reading it. Has it been stated he is hetero? It came out of. It's been in his thought bubble or his speak bubble. I'm hetero only.
Where's Stan Lee at?
Stan Lee didn't create him, so that didn't count.
Okay, where's Lynn Wine at? Okay, where's Lynn Wine at? Come on.
So I'm just saying, you've been around the world. You've seen a couple things.
You've been around the world a few times too, haven't you?
I have not been around the world.
You've been out of the country though.
We ain't talking about me. We talking about you.
So the insinuation, if you went out of the country, you go both ways.
If you live to be 100, you ready to dip the wick? I don't get it. I don't get the reasoning. I don't get it.
So I'm just saying.
Boy, the X-Men's a cold.
Matter of fact, he's been in space too. Come on.
Maybe he's on his. Are you saying he's on his Lando?
Yeah, there you go.
Stop it
He
right
didn't
now.
smash Brood. Come on, he didn't smash Chikari. Oh, come on now.
Wow.
Wolverine is not gay.
I mean, ain't nothing wrong. Ain't nothing
Nothing
wrong.
wrong with that.
You know what I'm
He
saying?
was established as gay when he was created. Okay, fine. But why do we have to go? Why do we have to? What's the word? Acquiesce to everything. I have no problem with alternate lifestyles, but stop making characters that clearly aren't gay or bi or binary, whatever the fuck.
But see, the thing is,
Make your own.
you're making
create
a stance
new
of clearly
characters and make them
not,
gay.
but you don't have the facts that state why they're clearly not.
Would that bother you if Cyclops and Wolverine were bi?
Would it bother me?
Yeah.
It would bother me on this
Say again?
one point because it's lazy storytelling. It's pandering to an audience that isn't going to support the books anyway. That's the problem. 'Cause if you go back 10 or 15 years when they had North Star marry what's-his-face, a lot of people were running up on me because, I'm a comic fan. Oh, man, yeah, North Star is gay. I'm like, that ain't new. Oh, well, yeah, he got married to so-and-so. Really? Did you read the book? Have you read the book? What issue did North Star come out in? Shut the fuck up. Okay, a lot of these things are to use a phrase Ant will understand.
We've never seen.
These are being hot-shotted. That's what's going on here. Think long term. Don't pander to a mythical audience that isn't going to support what you're doing anyway.
Okay.
Obviously, with North Star, we've never saw him in a relationship with a female.
No, North Star was gay from day one.
I have all the alpha. Well,
Take a look, man. There are clues. The clues are there. The clues are there. North Star is gay from day one. That's not a shock at all. If you look at like issue like 1 through 7 or 8, yeah, North Star is gay. Done. That's not even a selling point. But when they came out and transformed Iceman, really, and it's not that they made Iceman gay, they made Iceman Liberace. Like, come on, man.
Ratchet. You said Ratchet?
Liberace.
Oh,
You wake up one morning and he's Iceman that we've known for 60 years, and the next morning he's fabulous.
okay.
Like, you can't do that. That's bad storytelling. That is bad storytelling.
Okay, interesting. Well, like you said, it's speculate. I don't know. Is it speculation that they may be gay, but it's confirmed?
I don't even think it's speculation.
All three of them are getting it. Is that
I
part of
don't even think it's speculation because one, X-Men is owned by Disney now. You know they're not going down that road with especially characters.
I don't know. They went down that road with Lando.
Yeah, they did.
Wasn't what's that musical or Glee or something like? Isn't that a Disney? I don't know. Let me stop.
Wow.
Now wasn't in the Eternals is supposed to be the brother?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Is that in the comics? Are they like that?
I have never read an issue of the Eternals. I don't know.
I don't know why Disney thinks or Marvel thinks anyone cares about the Eternals.
You know, I gotta agree with that because the Eternals didn't resonate when they came out in the 70s. Nobody gave a damn, you know, but we'll see.
All right. Well, back to how we got to Black Panther to this, but
back to the issue at hand.
Yeah,
Sorry.
well, you know, so Black Panther's going to start shooting. Apparently, though, they have all this all worked out, right? I would imagine at this point, the script for the most part is in there. They started post-production and the costumes. I mean, it's so much that they got to do. I'd imagine they know exactly where they're going with this. So I'm interested. We've been saying before, where's Black Panther 2? So it's coming. So, and
again, just because, you know, the public doesn't know doesn't mean they don't have the plan in place.
Right. Yeah, I think they put this information out there on purpose, obviously to kind of prep things. I would not be surprised if there's a big announcement maybe next year where they're like, this is the new whoop-de-woo, you know.
I would think, though, out of respect, they wouldn't come out immediately and recast. But eventually it has to happen. Right.
Well, you know, now that I don't have it in front of me, but as I was thinking, there was I think somebody posted in a Discord about a leaked, it could be fake, but it was some sort of video, internal Marvel video. And it was, it said something in there about an announcement for Black Widow. It was going to be on Disney Plus as a premium content. There was some other stuff in there.
You talking about the movie, or are they developing a series?
No, the movie. Oh. Apparently, there is an investors call that's coming up, I think next month on the 10th or something, where they think they're going to announce whatever they're doing is going to be brought to light at that point. I would not be shocked if that movie came to streaming. You know, I thought about streaming real quick. I know we talked about it before, but they have like 73 million subscribers.
Damn.
On Disney Plus. Or Disney Plus.
Disney Plus wins. Jeez.
Well, I was thinking, and how much is Disney Plus? It's like what, $6?
Disney, they deserve it.
$6 or $7 a month or something. If you got, I mean, theoretically, if you got 70 million people paying you that every month, wouldn't you just focus on that too? Like that's your money. You ain't got to split that with no movie theaters. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's coming every month as opposed to a movie sort of drops when it does and then it trickles off. I would think that they would be all supporting that too as well. Like, why wouldn't that be their entire?
They might want Oscars though.
Yeah, but I mean, they're a business, so they only care about the bottom end, the bottom line. The awards don't. You can't. Those the shareholders. They don't give a damn. What we wanted, nigga. I donated money to this motherfucker. What you talking? How do I cash asking it? So, I think they're really only worried about the bread, as they should. And I'm glad you brought that up, and I want to go to this as well. We're all over the place here. The Grammys were announced.
The nominations were announced.
Nominations, exactly. And you are, on full transparency, you are associated with the Grammy board, right?
I am a member, yes.
Okay. And there seems to be a lot of issues going on, I noticed, with there's all kind of artists. I know Justin Bieber, he posted something about, I made an R&B album, and why is my album in the pop category? And I think he got a lot of nominations too. 4. Wow, Justin Bieber is 4 nominations. I would have
Justin Bieber also was nominated for Best New Artist, and he lost. Esperanza Spalding.
Wow. He must be good. I don't listen to his music, so
I've never heard one of his songs.
I've seen his movie years ago. I know he's talented, but so he's saying his thing. I know Cardi B and what's the brother? Kind of like a
Wiz Khalifa.
I know and what's the old girl's name?
Nicki Minaj.
Nicki Minaj. I'm old. Yeah. They all going at it online about who didn't get this and deserves this recognition. And then you have your guy, The Weeknd. He posted, where's my nomination? Y'all owe me nominations and all this whoop-de-whoop. And I'm like, I've said this before. I'm a consumer. But I get why. I guess I get why the artists. It's a big deal to them, and Marc can explain it too. But on one hand, my conspiracy brother viewpoint is, here we go. We got Black artists fighting amongst each other online, all for a pat on the back. on White Day. I don't understand. I'm like, it's y'all are successful. Some of y'all are the top artists in your thing right now. You know, Megan Thee Stallion, Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, they the top. But y'all fighting over the medal and the recognition for an organization, and I just with respect, that is traditionally shitted on hip hop and some of black music anyway. So I'm curious how it doesn't, y'all don't need to be fighting amongst each other just to get a tap on the, a pat on the back. You got our money, you got our respect. That you won already. Y'all should be uplifting each other and doing other shit. So I just, it's funny to me why this is going on, but I'm curious your take on this, Big Sexy.
Well, first of all, again, I am a member of the Recording Academy. I love saying that. And I've noticed what people are talking about. Nicki Minaj is beefing, Weeknd is beefing, and this and that. None of them are talking about Brittany Howard, though. Brittany Howard, a black woman, is nominated in 4 different categories. That's amazing. Okay. I've never seen that before.
I don't think I even heard of her before.
You've heard of her. She's the singer from Alabama Shakes.
Okay.
And she went out and broke out and did her own solo album and is tearing it up. But
is this the lady? Is this she's kind of a bigger,
kind of a large girl? Yeah.
Yeah, that Prince story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her.
Okay. Yeah. No, so congratulations to her. I didn't know.
But nobody's talking about that. They're talking about Weeknd. You owe me. Nobody owes you shit. Okay. You owe it to yourself to do the best work you can. Now, having said that, there is a process because somebody came at me a few years ago when I believe it was, and correct me if I'm wrong, was it Tribe Called Quest released an album after so many years?
Mm-hmm. I remember this, yeah.
And people are like, well, they didn't get nominated. I'm like, well, hold on. Did they submit it for nomination? I don't know. So there's that. And assuming they did do it, sometimes, you know what? I hate to be that guy, but sometimes the field is just the field. Do I agree with everything? No. I still got beef about 1987 and U2 winning over Sign of the Times. I'll never let that go. So I have beef about that. But I don't want to hear people coming out, well, you owe me. No, nobody owes you a goddamn thing, man. If you want that award, do better work and get out there and politic, because I get emails constantly. Hey, Mark, will you listen to this? Hey, Mark, will you listen to that? It's kind of like the Oscar people. You get the little submitted for your approval deal. If you want your shit on that list, get out there and push it. Bottom line. One of my clients, Josh, shout out to Josh, before he got, with me, he was already nominated for Best Remix. And I didn't know who he was. But he went out there and did the work, did the politicking, and got on that list. So if people who have not 1/1000th of the media contact that major stars get can somehow get on that thing and get on that list, you can't expect it to be handed to you. And that's what I'm hearing here. You owe me. Why do we owe you, Weeknd? Because nobody came to you and bent knee? No, get out of here. And Nicki Minaj, really? Nobody gives a shit about her. And Cardi B, whose music I don't care for.
If for some reason all the barbs hear this, I ain't say that. That brother.
I'm not a fan of Cardi B, but she's got a point. When who got at her about that this week?
Oh, Wiz Khalifa.
Wiz gets at her.
Well, I didn't even see how he got at her. He just made a comment and then.
He kind of intimated that somebody said that something about Cardi B already having a Grammy doesn't. And he
old black man, this is
and he sneak dissed and and Wiz Khalifa did a sneak diss by retweeting that and said that people who work hard always get screwed like this. And she was like, why are you? It's like, why are you saying that about me? Especially, like you was in my DMs talking about you was keep doing your thing and giving me support.
Yeah, I mean, well, I wanted to go back to Nicki Minaj. She has you can find it out there. I don't know if it's an audio or a video, but she, in her opinion, explains why she's not going to be getting no Grammys and why she's blackballed from the game. It's something to do with some performance she did that the Catholic Church got. I don't know if y'all remember. I don't remember any of this, but she was on some show. I don't know if it was the old.
It could have been the Grammys when she did the she did some song, the Chronicle or the Ballad of Carmine, and it had a religious take to it. So maybe that's what she's
talking about. Yeah, she was like, yeah, I did a whole bunch of promo for the Grammys. Me and LL Cool J did all these commercials, and then she was like, when I was about to do my performance just before, they came to me and said, we don't think you should perform actually. And she was like, nah, I didn't build this all up. I'm here to do this. Why? I would look kind of stupid. And she was saying, she name checked some dude. I don't know his name. It was the head dude. She said he told her to her face, no, you don't want to do this. You know, whoop-de-woo, this because I got juice in the game. Relax. But she went and did it anyway. But she was saying, since I went against him, all my shit been over. She said, I didn't realize who I was dealing with.
Well, now you know.
Influential with this dude was.
So she got her nigga wake up call.
Yeah. So but the dude, whoever she was talking to was like, yeah, well, you won anyway. But she's like, yeah, but that's why I ain't gonna be. They're not gonna. It's politics, like you were saying. Which I don't know if it shouldn't be politics, but I guess it's a closed organization, so they can do it however they want. I suppose. That's why I'd be like, I don't know why. Don't be so mad when you don't see a certain person you think deserves, because it's more of a game than it is the quality of their music, in my opinion.
And then you have to take into effect or to account that there are 81 categories. No one can listen to 81 categories. People vote and are involved in the categories that they like and that they're involved in. But like if you came to me right now and said, Mark, who do you like for best chamber ensemble, non-traditional? Shit, I don't know. So you have to take that in consideration as well.
So you're saying the way this whole voting process is flawed?
Flawed?
Well, because they say there's no way they're going to be able to listen to all the things they're voting on. So then, yeah, again,
you know what
I mean?
The listener, you say, look, here we go. We got 5 things. Listen to these 5. Tell us what you think. Okay. A lot of people, and again, this takes me back to that Eddie Murphy film, The Distinguished Gentleman. A lot of people, both in this voting block and then out in the real world as well, they vote for the name they know.
Why it's flawed?
And just to piggyback on what you were saying earlier, Mike, about why are they so concerned about getting this award? I mean, on the one hand, I say these people are artists, and who are we to tell them what they should value and what they should want? So I mean, I'm on that side, but then on the other side, when you see the fact that Prince all his body of work doesn't have an album of the year, when you see some of the great works that have been out there, especially by Black artists that weren't recognized by the Grammy, I just have to ask, I understand you're an artist, you're a musician, you want that accolade. However, why are you still holding them on a pedestal when you see how they get down?
Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of artists who don't have Grammys, right? So, yeah. I get it. I get it either way. I just, as I always say, in my opinion, at this day and time, I don't even see. Just to me, the Grammys just don't hold the same type of weight as it used to be. But
agreed. I mean, first, I understand the Grammys are still hold that pinnacle, but there's too many goddamn award shows. So, and I understand those, when you look at the AMAs, the billboards, the iHeartRadio and whatnot, at MTVs, they're definitely not in that same stratosphere as the Grammys. But when you go through a whole year and damn near every month is a music award shows, I just stopped caring.
Did you guys notice that the viewership for the AMAs was down 50%?
doesn't shock me at all.
Did anybody in here watch it this year?
No, I didn't even know it was
I didn't even know it was going.
Highlights. I kind of was interested too. I would have watched.
I didn't watch it either.
I mean, to me, it's like I think we just had we just had the versus battle, right? Which I think was a pretty record number, if I remember correctly. I don't know exactly what it was.
I think it was about 1.8 million.
Yeah. Damn. I almost feel like if they really want people to watch these award shows, they need to just put them streaming on like Twitter or Instagram or something, because that seems to be way more accessible than assuming I have cable and then I'm going to go watch to the TV. Everybody's got their phone.
Whoa. You don't need cable to watch the awards because they're on terrestrial TV. So it's not like it's on ESPN or TNT or something like that.
I don't even get terrestrial TV.
Right.
I'm just saying, like, more people have phones than they got TVs. I would imagine. They're more engaged on their phone than they are on that TV at this day and time. I'm saying if they really wanted to reach that market that I think the VMAs try to get to, they're not where they're at anymore. That's why them numbers keep dwindling. They need to be showing that shit on their phone. People need to be able to just pull it up on their phone to watch it, because that's their audience. The audience ain't sitting at home watching TV. That's why, in my opinion, that's why those numbers are going. It ain't because of the quality of the music. I mean, they still love those artists, their fans. I just don't think that their fans watch TV. And you know what I mean? Like it doesn't correlate to me. So I think they're in the wrong place. I think the BET Awards, wasn't that just the other day or something? I don't know if it came on TV yet, but
the Hip Hop Awards?
It was some sort of BET Awards. I think they recorded something yesterday or a couple days ago. I could be wrong, but I thought I saw some tweets about that. But anyway, let's move on and we'll wrap up here. Dave Chappelle.
Big Dave.
Oh man, this is
Dave Chappelle. The Chappelle Show was streaming.
Chappelle Show.
Was streaming on Netflix. I believe it's streaming on HBO Max as well. And Dave had been kind of throwing out some shots. I think when he was on the Saturday Night Live show, he was like, y'all, I ain't getting paid for that. He kind of threw that line in there. And then I think because of Ant, I saw an extended sort of thing. He was talking about it. And we see that Netflix has taken it down, the Chappelle Show. And Dave's stance, I think, is saying like, hey, I signed a deal a long time ago. It was not a good deal. They're making moves with the show and they're not paying me. So he's asking the people to support him by, don't watch the stream. Don't watch the live, don't watch.
Don't watch it on Netflix.
Yeah, don't watch it on Netflix. Or he said,
don't watch it, period.
Anywhere, period.
Yeah.
And then he was actually giving Netflix props. Was like, hey, I've done business with these guys. And they asked me how I felt about it. And I told them I didn't like it. And they're respecting my wishes. But the question I want to also ask with this, and we'll talk about this, is do we owe Mo'Nique somewhat of an apology?
Fuck no.
Wait, how so?
Yeah, apples and Chevrolets.
Well,
man.
Mo'Nique was, and I listened to Dave's talk, and he was saying, I think he was saying like, yeah, they not paying me. Even though he admits that, he signed the deal that he signed. He agreed to these terms, but he didn't understand. He said, you don't understand what they're saying in these contracts. You got to get a lawyer to explain it to you, right?
I'm sorry.
And then he said, like, we're all, and they're all in this, they're all friends with each other.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Now, I was going to say, you said you need to get a lawyer. So my point being is, at that point in the game, and I'm on the fence on both of this. At that point in the game, at that point in time, Dave Chappelle has been in the game. So he's saying he needed a lawyer. My first question was, well, why didn't you go get a lawyer?
He'd already done film at this point.
Now, my thinking is I don't know, maybe they pressured him when he was in that situation, because I've heard numerous times, you'll be put in a room or at a certain a situation like sign this now and then you just like, well, fuck, I ain't got time to get a lawyer or I want that money. So maybe, but at the same token, I'm still thinking like, this is some big money. Why didn't you get a lawyer?
Well, maybe he did have a lawyer. And I think it seemed like to me, he was kind of saying, well, they're all in cahoots with each other. I'm the
so
guy.
you're saying that Viacom gave him a lawyer? That would make
Yeah,
sense.
that does happen. Yeah,
It could have been that way, but he could have just gotten a lawyer, and they might have gotten at his lawyer and be like, "Look, man, we run the game.
His lawyer's a punk.
You come at us crazy, you'll never be in this high echelon again. You want to get down, you can, and then we'll put in a word for another person that you can get put on. You know what I mean? I can see how that whole network happened. But back to Mo'Nique. I'm saying in terms of Mo'Nique, in my opinion, what her argument really was, in my opinion, is to say that they're not paying us what we are worth, and she's saying they don't want to pay me what I'm worth. Not that they just not paying me, period. And I'm not saying just Netflix. I'm talking about those businesses in general. Yeah, like I'm thinking he's kind of, to me, saying the same. He's actually just not getting paid, but to me it's the same kind of thing. These big companies don't want to pay us for our shit, really. And they, you know what I mean? That's why I'm saying I think it's kind of similar. And they're both comedians. Go ahead.
I wouldn't say it's similar because the fact that Dave Chappelle is getting a hell of a bag now, and under his terms. So I mean, I get what you're saying, like overall, but I would say apple and orange. And what he said in the video, hopefully I got this right, is he's saying that when he walked away from the show, it kind of voided his contract. So they were able to control everything because he walked away and didn't meet out the terms of his contract. So it gave them more control over it.
Okay.
Now I could be wrong on that, but that's how I interpreted what he was saying.
It might be. You know, the other point too, is it interesting, or am I reaching that when Dave Chappelle said something like that, he gets automatic support across the board, whereas when Mo'Nique, black woman, says something kind of similar, almost immediate condemnation. Like,
wait a minute,
what the hell are you talking about? You should be happy they got da-da-da-da-da. That's what I said. Am I reaching?
Now, I don't think you're reaching. I'm saying he's not getting that support from me.
You're reaching like Reed Richards, man.
I can see where you're going there. I won't say you. I won't say you reaching.
I will.
Why you think? Well, why not? All
right, let's get into this, man. Let's get into this. All right. As far as Mo'Nique goes, we all know what happened there. So for people who don't know, Mo'Nique was approached by Netflix to do, a special. Netflix made her an offer of X dollars. Mo'Nique said no. Netflix said fine, keep it moving. Mo'Nique gets in the press and starts calling them racist and sexist and blah, 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 blah. And Netflix said, look, she's not worth what she wants to us. No one's saying she can't go out there and get it somewhere else. And as far as I am aware of, has she done anything since the Netflix issue?
Trying to take them to court, and I believe a judge okayed her lawsuit for this.
Lawsuit for what?
That's what I'm trying to understand too. However, you made a point about Mo'Nique being out in the press talking bad about Netflix. Well, Dave Chappelle's doing that now. Wait.
We'll get to Dave in a minute.
Well,
so the beef with Mo'Nique and Netflix is Mo'Nique and Netflix. Now, Dave had a contract with Viacom, and Dave used the magic word that a lot of people seem to walk right by. Dave's contract with Viacom gives them ownership in perpetuity. That means forever.
Right.
That's bad. So Dave would think, and anybody would think, well, every time they show my product, I get a taste. I get that residual. No. So Viacom, when they sold it to the hell? When they sold it to Netflix, and Dave, as a Netflix partner, goes to Netflix and says, look, they're not paying me. Netflix is like, cool, we're partners, so we're out. And they pulled it down. They're supporting their partner. Nothing wrong with that. But Mo'Nique, lowballing lawsuit, right?
I'm confused by that. I need to read up on that.
Yeah, I'm definitely read up on that.
I swore after the second season, which I believe the DVD for that second season was the highest selling DVD ever, they renegotiated and he got the quote unquote $50 million contract.
Yeah, but you and I, all of us know A lot of these contracts are illusory as fuck. Prince is 100 million. Did we redefine Prince?
Well, I know, absolutely. I know
Yeah.
there's definitely things in there, but I'm saying is they renegotiated that contract. So his original deal was renegotiated. When
And the thing is, when he got that second contract, this goes back to our initial premise. Did he have representation? Was it representation loyal to him? Because as an attorney, my duty to the client is no matter how bad a deal or a settlement is, I have to tell him and let him make the decision to take it or not take it. Now, in Dave's example, he said it was like, a bunch of people playing 3-card money. All the people standing around encouraging it were all in on it. So when he walked in that Viacom office, he felt the same way. They were all ganging up on him. If he didn't have a lawyer that he selected independent of these knuckleheads that really has his interest at heart, put it this way, if he didn't have the lawyer that he has now who got him that Netflix bag, he didn't have that guy then, okay, that lawyer fucked it up.
Right. I agree with you. I think, the particulars are different, but I think they're both kind of saying from a general stance that these big company is fucking me over in regards to money. The reasons are a little different, but the overall stance is I'm the little guy, and both of them share. I am the black comedian.
Again, no, because Monique and Netflix were not in any contractual relationship. They did not owe her a duty.
Right. I said there are particulars why they are different. I'm saying on a general level, though, they both are coming out in the press as two black comedians. One is a male, one is a female, and are saying, hey, I'm getting shitted on by a large corporation. And I'm saying the response is interesting to me. I'm not against Dave, but again, I just say Dave Chappelle got across the board support. The big company, there's a big company who actually backs his play, right? And pulls the shit. When Monique did something, it's a different circumstance, but the general sort of thing is almost it seems across the board, a lot of people, myself included, was like, what are you doing? I'm looking at it now. I'm kind of like, I don't know. That's what I said. Do we owe Monique some sort of like, yeah, you were kind of the first coming out with something like this. The circumstances are different, but we were so quick to just say F you to her, which I don't know if that was cool or not. Q-Storm, I don't know how much of this you've heard. What's your opinion?
Well, in regards to Monique, I can say that I wasn't mad at her that much. I only got off of her train when she started talking crazy. But yeah, I'm like, I never was like, oh, why she doesn't deserve this, she doesn't deserve. I remember a show I was arguing, why shouldn't she argue for more money?
Right.
Again, you have that right. She has that right to argue, for more money. Netflix said no. That's it. Party's over.
That's true.
It's not over, actually. Right? She's taking
that case is filed in the Central Federal District of California, of which I'm a member. So I'll be pulling documents to see exactly what the fuck is going on with that one. So we're going to find out.
But yeah, I'm just saying it's not over though. But
no. The case is not over. But again, any type of negotiation, you have an offer. Is it accepted or not? If it's not accepted, keep it moving.
The problem with Monique though is, and I did get on her about her running her mouth too much. Now her stock, her cachet is down because she ran her mouth so much.
Right, but that's because kind of what Nicki Minaj went to say, or when I said earlier, you go against the wrong person. Yeah, it's politics, but I guess it all depends on how much value they perceive in you that they allow you to do certain things. That's why I said in Dave's case, you have a big company that backs his play and actually pulls their shit down, and they do it because they're making money with Dave. I imagine if they wasn't, they'd be like, nigga, you done. But I think that's the difference, right? Because this man has got more value in the game than she do. So if they do the same things, the consequences and the blowbacks are going to be a little different because they don't see no value in Monique, which I think a lot of us didn't either at the time. And they were like, no, you're like you said, she could be done. She's going to have to be in Tyler which can't even be in Tyler Perry. Shut down Tyler.
She can't be in Tyler Perry movies.
Remember, she went in Tyler.
Burn that bridge, man.
She had the secret tapes on Tyler. She released. She was,
Yeah.
If you can't get work on a Tyler Perry set, you can't.
well,
Stop it. No Tyler Perry set.
there's still a whole other. There's a whole other lane for her though.
A whole other what, Mike?
Whole other lane out there for her.
Oh,
She better call up Kenya Burris. I got Monique-ish. I don't know.
There you go. Yeah. Shit. You know, all these streaming channels out there. You get on there. You know, praise Lord.
You might
Praise Lord Plus.
Oh, that's on Netflix. Never mind. Wait,
Well,
she's supposed to be leaving Netflix.
Who is this?
Shonda Rhimes.
She is.
leaving that, she just joined Netflix.
Oh, maybe I got
She
to.
left ABC.
She's leaving ABC.
No,
Yeah.
actually, I'm sorry. I think it's Kenya Burris who's supposed to be leaving for another deal.
I thought he
Talk to
just
him.
announced another show.
Exactly. Yeah, that's why I was shocked too.
Anyway, they got well. There's a lot of opportunities out there. Anything else on the Dave Chappelle?
Well, Dave, you know, again, even when he left his show initially, Dave stayed working. He was always on tour, always. Now, I don't know what Monique's tour schedule was or is, but I'm not hearing a lot about it. Does she tour?
Well, yeah,
You know, I don't know. You know, and she thinks that she's worth X dollars. Good for her. If she's worth it, go get it. She's just not worth it to Netflix. Period.
well, and her, and from her side, she's saying, I think, did she say it's some racism involved or something?
Well, she threw that out there too. Yeah.
So I mean, now again, she
And
could be
sexism.
right, and sexism.
And sexism,
She could
yeah.
be right. And she may not be. I guess that's for the courts who can prove it. But what we know right now is the judge said, you know what, go on forward with it, and you'll look up the docs. We'll
Oh, I'm
see how-
definitely looking at the documents.
Yeah,
I hope she wins.
I'm going to.
What?
Why not?
Why?
Hey, she can get a nice bag, and they can come to terms and get a settlement. Yeah, I hope she wins.
I hope she wins too. Why would I hate on her? Why?
Okay. You're both we're all businessmen here. Okay. So cute. Suppose somebody runs up on you as you're out on your little riding mower cutting the grass one day, and they trip on your lawn and break their leg. Okay.
Right.
They sue you.
Mm-hmm.
And you know for a fact that this suit is bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
You know this. And yet you settle anyway.
Okay.
You okay with giving them that bag?
I mean, were they running up on me to attack me or something? Or?
No, doesn't matter. The suit is baseless. You okay with settling it and giving them that
I
bag?
don't know that the suit is baseless, given what you just told me.
Are you okay with giving them the bag?
If I'm responsible, yes.
What I said was you're out there on your little riding mower and somebody walks and trips on a blade of grass that may
Hold on,
be
you
at the
froze.
boundary of your property.
Back up. You froze on my end. Oh, he got jokes.
Okay. If somebody comes on your property, trips over a blade of grass, okay, a blade of grass, and sues you, okay, and you're like, fuck out of here. You go to court and defend it, and then all of a sudden you decide, you know what, let me just settle this thing. You okay with that?
My understanding of the law is if someone comes into my property and they are injured, I am responsible in the civil. I'm responsible civilly. So
You see, again, well, you're wrong.
why would I be wrong?
First of all, are we talking negligence or are we talking intentional tort?
Well, you didn't say that.
Whoa. I didn't say all that.
that.
I'm saying, are you okay settling a baseless claim?
If I'm if it's a baseless claim, no. See, now
Thank
you're changing the.
Thank you.
But you changed it. You changed. You didn't.
But
give
we
me-
don't know if her claim is baseless.
He didn't say was
Again,
it baseless. He
based
just
on what we're seeing in the paper.
A blade of grass in my yard. And I say, if someone comes on my property and they injure themselves, I am responsible. Now he's saying it's baseless. Well, if I know that it's baseless, the conditions made it that it's baseless. So then, no, I would not.
Okay. We'll scratch that.
Oh, no, scratch that. Okay, go ahead.
Suppose one of your little gun acolytes.
He's just trying to get you on something. Go ahead.
Suppose one of your gun acolytes shoots somebody. The person that gets shot comes to sue you.
Big Sassy, you're being way too general. You're better than this as an attorney. This is way too general for me to make a statement.
I'm trying to help you, man.
No, what's the conditions that they shoot somebody? If they're shooting somebody in self-defense, or are they shooting somebody because they
at this point, you don't know. You don't know.
I don't know. All right.
Okay. All you know is you've been served.
Right.
Okay. You're being sued.
Why am I being sued?
Because you trained them. They're saying you trained them negligently.
I need to know the evidence of that, but go ahead.
You trained them negligently and they shot somebody.
Okay.
You're being sued.
Right.
Do you settle?
No, because I don't know the evidence in the case.
Okay. Keep that in mind.
All
now,
right.
let's go back to Miss Monique.
Tie this together, bro.
Yeah,
Monique goes to Netflix. They make her an offer.
Yeah.
She says no.
Right.
She sues them.
Okay.
For what?
Well, I could, based on what I've seen.
Okay, go ahead. Based on what you've seen.
That's the question. Based on what I've seen, I can see her mounting a credible suit based on sexual discrimination.
How? You know what? I'm not even going to ask how so. That's bullshit. Okay, how so?
Because Dave Chappelle was able to yank. I'm sure Dave Chappelle had a contract, and he was able to yank his show off the Netflix despite the contract. So if he can do that, why can't
Dave Chappelle is in business in a partnership with Netflix.
Okay.
Monique is not. So where is the discrimination here?
I seem to recall at the time she was also saying that male performers were making a lot more money, getting a lot more payment from Netflix.
Names female stand-up.
Mark, I know you don't like what I'm saying. I'm not saying.
No.
She names Amy Schumer.
She named Amy Schumer. Okay.
Shut me down. But
Ella has her own show.
Huh?
Amy Schumer stays touring, and I don't even think she's funny.
Right.
But Amy puts butts in seats.
Okay.
Again, does Monique tour? We don't know.
Okay.
She can't claim to say that her name value is up there with those other people.
Well, she would say that it is.
She's being descriptive. That's fine.
She would argue.
No.
She would argue she's an Oscar winner.
As an actress. They're not paying her to act. They're paying her to do a stand-up.
Well, she would argue she's.
Wait.
She would argue she's one of the top black comedians.
Are you saying comedians don't become actors? Eddie Murphy, Dolomite.
Did I say any of that?
He was a comedian. I don't know.
I said they're not paying her to act. They're paying her to be.
You don't think? Wait, hold on. So you don't think that there's a little bit of acting involved when you do a stand-up?
I don't do stand-up, so I don't know.
Well, then why are you making a claim? You don't know. You just claimed ignorance.
Let me just throw in a little bit of what she said, so we don't have to speculate. Another part of the suit, and I'm reading this from Deadline, is that Netflix's treatment of Monique began with a discriminatory lowball offer and ended with a blacklisting act of retaliation. In rejecting the streamer's notion to
turn the camera back on, punk.
The judge said,
"Watch yourself, bro."
Monique plausibly alleges that after she spoke out and called her initial offer discriminatory, Netflix retaliated against her by shutting down its standard practice of negotiating in good faith that typically results in increased monetary compensation beyond the opening offer and denying her increased compensation as a result. That's the wording from the judge.
I'm kind of confused. How are they owed to continue negotiating with her?
Thank you.
And further owed to negotiate a higher deal, higher paying deal?
I think because what she's saying is, and the judge said, not she, that there must be some good faith, way that these things are normally done. When you get an offer, you say, no, I don't want to do this. That number's low ball. And then they come back with another offer that may be higher. And then you can agree to it. I guess that's how the game is normally played. But she's saying that when she went public, they just say, we're not talking to you no more, which I guess they don't normally do. And the judge says, yeah.
Okay,
maybe there's something to do with that. Again, I'm not saying what she's saying. I'm just what the judge is saying. So there must be more to this than we understand about negotiation. But he said good faith practice. So there must be a certain thing that they do in negotiations that she was.
I hope they got receipts, because that to me is just kind of strange. You're telling me that when you're negotiating for some type of content that you have to continue negotiating. That's just strange to me.
I don't know. Again, I agree. But I guess we hear about this stuff in the press all the time. Our actors asking for certain types of money, or a ball player asking for certain kind of money or something. Normally those things get worked out, I would imagine, because these people still be acting and doing their thing. And I think she's saying in my case, they just cut me off. They retaliated against me, and she's tying in race as a factor. She's maybe she had some receipts to say they didn't do that with such and such when they counter offered.
Well, I got to run, fellas. I got to run. But Marc, you're wrong. Sorry to tell you that. Go, Monique. I got your back.
You would.
Hey, Marc, watch your dogs too, bro.
Fuck you.
Wow. Thank you for joining us, sir. Thank you for joining us.
All right, later.
Animal hating ass punk.
Ladies and gentlemen, Q Storm, give it up.
Yeah, hopefully she can come up with some receipts on that, because I'm quite sure she would not be the first talent that was offered something
and didn't want it
and said I want more, and the employer was like, okay, we're just walking away.
Yeah,
right. And the thing is too, going back to that settlement talk and these things, I think a business on the level of a Netflix can't be just cut and dry. Oh, we're cutting off, because they got to know. I'm sure there's people that are more smarter that understand that our company can fall just like any other company if the tide turns, and for some reason she comes out and alleges that we doing some racial shit. And I remember we talked about this in the past show. She mentioned another incident that happened in corporate Netflix's ecosystem where it was on some racial shit. You can look that up. So she might try and paint that this is a thing that's going on behind the scenes. And I'm saying a big company like that does have to play it smart. They may be like, you know what? We're not here to win no I'm right battles. We're here to make money. And if it means better for us to just go on and give her this little check and keep it pushing so that we can continue to make more, I could see them doing that, as opposed to fighting this out in the public. We're not, getting into some whole racial battle. I don't see no corporation fighting.
Okay, I see what's going on here. I just took a look at the complaint.
Yeah.
The complaint alleges a lot of federal violations, a lot. Mm-hmm. Things like discrimination based on this, and this. A court, again, I've not read the reasoning yet, but a court is going to have to listen to that anyway. Because when you make a federal claim under a federal statute, it's got to go forward a little bit. Okay. It can't be dismissed out of hand. So that's fine. But as far as Q being Monique, well, Q's an idiot. That's why. He doesn't know. Gun playing ass motherfucker. Let's follow this and see what happens.
Yeah, I would really like to know what is Monique's end game, because I want to be on code. I really want to be on code. She's a sister. She's put in the work.
What was Kyle Reitmander's end game? Let me stop.
Why you go there?
They just cut him a check, but that's okay. Go ahead, instincts.
No.
I'm just fucking with you.
No, I'm just saying, I would like to know what is her end game, in the sense of she's been going at Tyler Perry, Lee Daniels, and Oprah for damn near a decade. And now she's been going on the Netflix thing for about 3 years. And I just want to know, okay, what is your end game? Is your end game to get into movies, to get these stand-up, or are you trying to make these people pay? I wouldn't. I'm just saying, from your perspective, what do you think her end game is? Because, like Marc keeps saying, she's not out there producing content, which to me, yes, there's a little bit of pride with Lee Daniels, Oprah, and Tyler Perry. She's kind of had some receipts to back up her claims. So I can somewhat understand, like, okay, I'm proving that I'm not crazy. I was right. I somewhat get that, because, her name has been dragged through the mud. But with Netflix, I haven't seen Netflix say anything negative about her. I mean, if it's out there, please correct me.
Again, they would be crazy to do that.
Right. So I'm like, what is the end game of, instead of just saying, okay, well, fine, Netflix, you didn't want to? Well, I'm gonna go over to BET or Viacom or
Amazon Prime or
Peacock
something.
or Amazon and show all these numbers. Or I'm gonna be out on the road getting my bag. And so I wanted 2 million when you offered me $500,000. Now it's gonna cost you 5 or 10. So I'm just saying, I'm just trying to see what is the end game?
Right. But what if what she's saying is true? Right. So maybe her
again,
her end game is that
what is she saying? What Netflix said no, we don't want to negotiate.
Mm-hmm.
So what's she saying that could be true here?
What if they were in bad faith and they didn't come back to the table with her? What if they do have a history behind the scenes of some racism going on in the workplace? What if it is true?
Got the receipts. I hope she.
Well, I mean, yeah, we hope.
Yeah.
Right. But I'm just saying that your question though is, what is her end game? Maybe her end game is just purely for justice.
Okay. Well, then
her end game is the bag.
I will respect it, and I'll have to make a hard ass decision if she doesn't.
But the question I would ask again, because she ain't got nothing to lose. She's already on a lot. You know, what is Netflix's end game?
So you said she under Janet Hubert?
Yeah, what's Netflix's end game? They don't want to got to play just like with Will Smith with Janet. Will Smith, he would be a fool to be going back and forth with her like she was coming at him. He's on a whole other level. His value could drop, so he can't be going on Instagram. You know, she didn't. This is what happened. Here's the receipts. No, he has to play into his persona as Will Smith and has to bring it together and be like, I apologize. Let's do the reunion. You got to be a part of it. You know, he has to play it that way. Otherwise, he becomes a bad guy, and he can't be a bad guy because his whole persona is this. So that's what I'm saying. Netflix cannot be dragged through some shit because their whole thing is, you know, they're open to everybody, right? They're a super value company. They don't have time to be mucking around in this. I almost look at it the same way Michael Jackson's situations back in the day. Why was he paying off some of those things if he didn't do it? But he probably was like, you know what, this shit, I ain't got time to be doing this. I got to get into some other shit. Just give me a little check and be done with it. Right. I don't know if it was the right.
And what's the common thing here among all those things that you just mentioned? People are shaking down people. You know, Monique, this is a shakedown. That's all it is.
Hey, just like the Grammys, it's politics in the game. It's business. If
the weekend sues the Grammys for something, then I'll take it seriously. No. Well, she again, Monique, as an actress, whatever. As a stand-up,
you can't say whatever. She got hardware.
She's got hardware. That's fine. But what else has she done? What has she done
Didn't she have a
since
whole
Precious?
Since Precious? I don't know. I know she's been in some things, hasn't she?
I don't know.
I'm not a fan. So again, you can't ask a question if you don't have the answer, and I'm not a fan to know. So she's probably done a lot of things, I would imagine.
Then if she's done a lot of things, why isn't she doing them now?
She said because she's blackballed and we're in a pandemic.
Netflix does not have that kind of stroke.
What?
Netflix can't call up Amazon, yo, don't hire her.
You don't know that. You don't know that.
No.
Maybe now that may be true for Ellen DeGeneres, or if she wants, or Taylor Swift wants to go talking crazy about some corporation. But Mo'Nique, that's my point originally. Even Dave Chappelle has the power where they can't shut him down because he's but if they don't see her as a value, they can say she's done.
If they saw a value in her, which they did, obviously, because they sat down to the table to negotiate.
Right.
She just didn't think the value was enough. So they saw the value in her.
Sure. But that's negotiations, right? They both gonna have a value, you know, what they think something is, and you kind of go back and forth until you find the middle ground.
So then if I go buy a new TV, you know, I see a 7-inch TV, I like, hey, I like that TV. Well, Mark, that's, you know, the such and such Sony, blah, 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 and it's $1,800. I don't think so. I'll give you $1,000. Well, Thank you for coming, but no. I'm suing you guys now. Really? No, man.
Well,
sometimes the answer is no.
That's different, but see that would your same logic apply to Dave Chappelle then?
How?
Well, because they're not breaking no laws.
Well, Dave and Netflix or Dave and Viacom?
Well, I'm talking about the company, the respective companies they have issues with.
Dave and Viacom, no, they're not breaking any laws.
That's what I'm saying. So that logic.
Dave was not suing Viacom. Dave went to his business partner and said, "This is what I think," right, and they said, "You know what? We're going to back you up, and we're out of this." Right,
but he's not saying this to have Netflix back him up. He's saying this to get a bag because he wants his money that he thinks he's owed. Right, and I'm just saying that's the same thing. They both think there's a value to this. What your logic you just laid out for Netflix in terms of Mo'Nique, I'm saying, does that same logic also work for Dave's situation? If Viacom says, "Hey, you signed this paper and you backed out of the deal, you have there's nothing in this for you no more. You don't have no legal rights. We ain't paying you shit. Bye." I would imagine the same logic has to apply to his situation. But I'm saying the response doesn't, right? People are automatically on Dave's side, and another company automatically jumps in the mix of this. No one is going to do that for Mo'Nique, even using the same logic. They just automatic no for her. Because that's why I said they're doing the same thing. The particulars are different, but they're doing the same thing.
Again, I don't see it that way.
I know.
I don't think they're doing the same thing.
And just to be clear, I'm on the fence with Dave Chappelle. I'm on code for my brother, but at the other end, I'm like, you did sign the contract and you did walk away from the show. I guess you didn't understand the total consequences of what that walking away was, but you did make those moves.
And I support Dave's doing. You know, he said something at the end of his thing when he was talking about it. He said, if they don't give me the check or something, he said, "Oh, what's going to happen and what? I'll take it." And then he dropped the mic, right? I'm curious to see them call his bluff. Like, how is he going to take the show? I would love this. And if that means he's got to go to court and fight, I hope he wins. Great.
He ain't going to win.
I hope he can work to pay it. It would be interesting to see how that works. Or maybe they just say, you know what, it's just too much blowback from the people. Just give him they'll just settle. You know what? Give him a check.
I mean, the thing that would be interesting is because it's on Viacom, HBO Max, and
HBO Max ain't pulling shit, right?
Yeah. Now, the thing would be interesting if he can audit all three of those streaming services and see how many people are streaming it, and then go to them and is like, "Look, do you want me to be a part of this so we can all get a bag, or do you want me to keep telling them to stop watching it and you don't get none of the bag from here?" Now, the question would be: will Viacom just put their ego to the side and say, "Let's just cut the check so we can all get paid," or not?
Well, Viacom is in the unenviable position of getting beaten up in the press. Eventually, that's what it's going to come down to.
That's what I was saying about Netflix.
They need to write that check and, end this. Come to the table like gentlemen, resolve it and be done.
Isn't that what I was saying Netflix may have to do?
If Netflix has to do that, they're not going to like it. But again, for all that does moving forward is make people more leery of negotiating now. It's like, if I tell you no,
but then you have to change how you negotiate. That's just how it is. The same way with the music industry, things had to change. With the film industry, things had to change. Because I'm quite sure, let Courtney Cox, Jennifer Aniston, David Schwimmer and them get together and be like, "Yo, we ain't getting a piece of that streaming bag." You think they ain't cutting the check? Because of all the money. Now, the difference between, get out your feelings on this. The difference between what Chappelle's show is bringing versus what Friends is bringing is night and day. But I'm just saying, they will damn sure cut that check so they can get that money.
Yeah, and there's no, and they may just look at Dave Chappelle and be laughing. Like they might be sitting at the country club together with their boy, he is funny, ain't he? Ain't getting that dime. The head of Netflix is sitting at the table, and the head of Viacom. That was cute that you pulled it, but you ain't getting your money back. And HBO Warner Brothers like, yeah, shit, we didn't already pay for it. They ain't gotta watch it.
And Monique's biggest flaw in this whole thing, would you like to know what it is? Q Storm agrees with it. So right there, you know what's wrong.
Shots fired.
Yeah, I said it.
Well, so there you go. Dave Chappelle hopefully that situation works out for
So
you. Go ahead.
the moral of the story is get you a lawyer that says all future platforms, mediums, whatever, so you can be covered
Through the whole galaxy universe.
Do your due diligence. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, and of course, I don't think streaming was around at that time. So
I get it. It's new technology, so it couldn't have been contemplated. Yeah.
So
Mark, I mean, you're a lawyer. You've done contracts. How would you have, in 2004, how would you have gotten that wording in so he's protected? Because I'm sure they had to have known future technology.
This goes back, this topic goes back to, God, way, way back in the Stone Age with comic books, actually, when Siegel and Schuster created Superman and they sold the rights to Superman to DC. They didn't know about films, comics, merchandising. Anytime you change the media of your subject matter of your contract, you need a new contract. Bottom line. So when Dave went to Viacom and said, we're going to do this and syndicate it and blah, 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 blah. Well, what about future thingies? There should have been a clause in there that lets you go back and revisit in case of new developments in technology. Now, I don't know what the contract said, but that should have been in there. And again, Dave admits that he was overmatched. So whoever was advising him, if anyone was advising him, they didn't do their job. I always harp on musicians, get representation. Part of that is making sure representation knows what they're doing too. You could do your job, let me get a lawyer here. And this lawyer could be on advertising on a bus stop bench, quickie slip and fall cases. This may not be what he does. So I don't know. There's a lot more to it.
Okay.
But see, a lot of people get caught up, including Prince, they get caught up with that large number at the end of the document. Okay. 50 million. Whoa. Read the document. It's $50 million if this happens and this happens and this happens. Oh, it didn't happen? You ain't getting it.
And speaking of Prince, to shift gears for a second here, we got to salute Prince for his nomination. Grammy nomination. It was the best historical
album.
1999.
Deluxe set.
So that's cool. Salute to him for that. And we're going to end it with this last question. I asked this question, or I posted this on Facebook. The question is, if you could be around hanging out in the recording studio for any one album by an artist
or a
band, I know it is hard. So I'll just say you can do two. But which two albums would you love to have been in the studio to watch the process? And I'll let you guys think about that for a second. And off the top, I will say for me, one of my major picks would be John Williams, the recording of the original Star Wars soundtrack to A New Hope. I would have loved to have been in that pit, when they were recording that. And I understand, I don't know if George Lucas was there, but just to hear it for the first time, not knowing what the hell you're about to hear or even understand the magnitude of that music and how long it'll play out for generations. I would have loved to have sit there and been able to see that. So that's one for me. Ampo, do you have one?
I think I have two for two totally different reasons. So, of course, I got to have a Prince album, and it's not going to be Purple Rain or Sign of the Times. Main reason is I feel like, with Sign of the Times, there was so much material that he pulled together to get the final album that you'd have to have been there for 3 years. And with Purple Rain, that was a process as well. So my album choice would be Parade, because we know he went into the studio and laid down the first 4 tracks and then did some more. That was more of a tightly produced album over a month. The other album, because I'm from South Central LA, and I kind of like a little ratchetry and drama. It would be Tupac's All Eyes on Me. Fresh out of jail, the drama of Death Row. Of course, I'd have to have a contract with Suge. Hey, they ain't gonna fuck with me, right? Like, I'm just here to witness. You know, I got a pass.
Where you from, Ant? What street you from, nigga?
But I would have loved to have been there first because, you know, Tupac, you know, God rest his soul, he was motivated, the one that, you know, fresh out of jail, to show that he was still the king of New York, so to speak. He was mad at Bad Boy and Biggie. He came with just venom. He had all this these lyrics that he was writing in jail. The whole atmosphere of Death Row, what was going on. You had Dre there, you had Snoop, you had Daz creating magic, you had Method Man, Redman, Casey and JoJo. It was just E40, George Clinton, Roger. It was just a lot of people there producing that one album. So not only just the music, but the drama that was going on. And on top of that, and this is kind of a cheat, on top of that, Tupac was putting together songs that they got 20 years worth of content out of afterwards. Mm-hmm. I think he finished Machiavelli the same time he finished All Eyes on Me. So I would have loved to have been there for that one.
Real quick, I'm gonna go to Big Sexy. My third pick was the Machiavelli album. Would have been the one I would. For most of the same reasons you said. I just would not have been there for the bullshit. I wouldn't have been there to get my ass whooped or being forced to drink piss or nothing like that. But everything else, all the smoking and the drinking and the girls, stories, the beats, and I would have been all lost my head. But anyway, Big Sexy.
Well, the first one would be, believe it or not, Michael Jackson's Thriller. I saw a picture this week of the studio, and in the studio, from left to right, the picture was George Martin, Quincy, Bruce Swedien, Michael, David Paich, and Steve Porcaro from Toto, and Paul McCartney. Wow. Mm-hmm. And Michael, when he did Thriller, he had a goal in mind. He's like, this is what I want to do. I want to make the biggest album ever. And goddamn it, he did. You know, he got with the Quincy team, and Quincy, they did what they did. Mm-hmm. I would have loved to have been there when Eddie walked in, you know, to do the Beat It solo. It took him 2 takes to do it. So if I blink, I miss it. But all that creativity and all the things that were offered to Mike.
Did you say Eddie
Van Halen.
Oh.
Because I thought Eddie Murphy.
I thought you were talking about what's up with you?
Anyway.
You want to be there for that one?
No, I can miss that one.
What's up with you? I'm sorry.
You know, all that creativity with the goal, with the singular goal in mind, which they did attain. But all that creative powers, like Ant said, you know, you have Roger, you got George Clinton running around. You have all these creative, musically heavyweights in one space doing one thing. I didn't even know George Martin was even around back then. But he's like, I'm going to pop in and hang out. You know, just to be in a room with George Martin and Quincy would be all I would ever need. That's amazing. Yeah. The other one, 1999. Guy did it at his house by himself. Walking between studios in these bedrooms and in the kitchen, like, wow. That would be just to watch. Not be involved, just sit there and watch. Hi, how you doing? You know, and he's doing all this stuff. It's amazing. That's amazing.
I can feel those too. My last one would be a Prince-related record, but it would be the Time. What Time Is It album?
That's a Prince album.
Yeah, I would just love to be in the studio with Prince and Morris, you know, watching them brothers do their thing and just the jokes and the funkiness. And oh man, I would have soaked up so much game, you know, watching them get down. That would be awesome to me. Like, don't ever if we ever find out they sitting on some video footage or of Morris and Prince in the studio putting in work and they ain't came out yet. Now that's what I spend I would spend some money on. Yeah, let me get that. But yeah, so those are my 2. You did 2. Did you do 2, Ant?
I did. Yeah, I did 2. I did 2.
Yeah. So yeah, there you go. I'm curious to people at home or wherever you're at, what would be your albums you would want to be around in the studio for. There was another album. I just can't.
Well,
you know who I would love? Real quick, just because I would try to shoot my shot so hard. Sade. Let me be in the studio with Sade. Was it?
Can't hate on that.
I can't remember the album, but oh boy, I'd be like, how you doing, baby girl? Oh, hey, you need anything? No, y'all be quiet. She's trying to sing.
Nah, see, first of all, that's not how your Mac works, Mike.
I know, but I would be like, listen.
Well, I think I could top that. My third choice, I think I might have said this on Facebook, would have been the Waiting to Excel album. Because to me, I still find that as Babyface's greatest performance, having all those different acts, all those different female acts, putting that music together, writing most of all of those tracks. That would have been an album session that I would have been loved to have been at. Brandy, Whitney, CeCe, Faith Evans, Shaka Khan, Aretha Franklin, just royalty.
Shaka Khan.
Or let me be in the studio when Janet was doing not Let's Wait a While. What's the other one? Forget.
Anytime, any place.
Yeah, when any of them making love in the rain. I'm like, oh baby.
Wait. What?
Yeah, the song on Herb Alpert's album, Janet.
You kind of changed the cadence a little bit there.
But you know what I'm talking. But anyway, man, anything else before we get up out of here?
Good.
All
I
right.
hate Q Storm.
Well, shout out to Q Storm, man. I appreciate him coming through. And I hope that this thing comes across well with the video here. We're trying different things until we find our flow, but let us know what you think. Aunt Pooh, thank you for joining us, sir. Where can they find you online?
Twitter and Instagram and Aunt Pooh. Xbox and PlayStation, Aunt Pooh 77.
All right. Real quick, did you see that video on the Discord? The young boy did a video and he had a PS5 in one hand and there was these two chicks standing next to him. And it was like, which would you choose? The PS5 or a weekend with these girls?
Have not looked at it, but I'm choosing the PS5.
Wow.
Like, I don't know what them. First of all, I'm a happily married man.
There you go. That's all you
Good
need.
answer. Good answer. There you go.
But it was a funny video. Most brothers, and it was all brothers, most chose the PS5, but there was a few writers that was like, yeah.
Now, call them what they are. Call them what they are. Simps.
Well, they ain't spending no money. So the one brother was like, yeah, I'll go for her for the weekend, then I'll make her buy me a PS5 after I put it down. So
Wow.
Okay,
anyway,
I didn't want to go here, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Fellas, we got to do better. For the past 3 to 6 months, all these Instagram and Facebook and tweets of, yeah, my girl buying me a PlayStation 5. Stop it.
hey, that's love. That's
No. Yes, it could be love, but they're making it sound like they scamming them to get a PlayStation 5. And to me, I'm looking at it like, we're not talking about no Benz or Bentley. We're talking about a $500 gaming console. How are you trying to make yourself come off like some big player that you did finessed a PlayStation 5 from some girl? That means you really ain't got $500?
it's 2020, brother.
True.
The level of manhood is totally different out here in these streets.
I'm like, y'all bragging about finessing a $500 game system. Stop it.
$500 is a lot of money if you broke.
But exactly, you broke, so you can't be bragging about it. Like, yeah, look what I got. Look what I finessed out of it. Okay, but you living at home with your mom. Nothing wrong with that if you're getting yourself together, but still.
Well, back in my days, a lot of guys before the net, they would always brag. Oh, I got me a white girl. She buying me everything. Nigga, yeah. I mean, so it's the same kind of mentality.
Yeah,
just
I'm
different.
sorry. I just don't like that. I really just don't like that. But so I'm just gonna say, fellas, that's nothing to brag about.
For sure. But if you got it,
now I'm not saying that she pull up with a brand new Lexus for you, then I'm like, I'll tip my hat. But a PlayStation 5, get out of here.
Yeah,
Do you guys own both systems? Or are you both
I have both.
PlayStation exclusive? You have both?
5, but I have a 4.
Same. I'll be getting both. Probably.
I don't even play my Xbox anymore.
Why not?
PlayStation next year, Xbox the year after.
There's no games on there that weren't me playing.
So did I fuck up by buying the Xbox?
You about the one or the?
I have the one that's out right now, the
Oh, okay.
Xbox One S or whatever the fuck it is.
I play
And
great games.
to keep it all the way 100, yes, the Xbox Live, it's a great freaking platform. Absolutely. But when you look at the PlayStation Network, they're giving you the online gameplay plus being able to stream their library of games. That's a better value for less money than the Xbox Live. The Xbox, I think it's the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. That's damn near like $150 a year.
So when you say I can get their library, does that mean their entire library?
Nah. But it's a hell of a roster of games. I'm talking about God of War. I'm talking Last of Us.
You get some top tier
Spider-Man. You get some the Uncharted series. It's a lot. Then you get third party games like a couple of the Resident Evil games. They have a lot to offer you, and it's a better.
Can I get Tekken and Soul Blade and stuff like that?
You have to look.
Tekken's on there.
No,
Shit. So I fucked up.
yeah. So again, Xbox Live, salute. It's great, but the value just ain't there compared to the PlayStation Network, which gives you some really great exclusive and access to online multiplayer.
All right, listeners, listen up. Sexy needs an PS5. So somebody shoot me an email or they're on sale and let me get my shit.
We'll put something together.
No, I got money.
Here's the deal.
Access.
Here's the deal. We need to get a PS5, and if you don't donate, you ain't black. But the thing is, it's not about that you have money, right?
You got to be able to get to them. That's the problem.
Q said he doesn't care about if you got money. Is if that's the part of the game. So if you want to ask for donations, you ask for donations.
No. Q's an idiot. I need access to where they are. That's all I need.
I need help with the transition to Hawaii and back. Can I get some money?
Oh, if we're transitioning to Hawaii, me too.
That's what ain't about if I got money or not.
Hell yeah. We're doing that.
You and your Debo, you want to spend their money.
Well, that's what Biden is. I'm going to spend your money.
Help me spend your money.
Get me into the White House, y'all. This is the second part of the vote. Anyway, Big Sexy, where can they find you online?
All right. Facebook, Marc Wiggins. Twitter, WSE Marc. Instagram, Marc Wiggins 2.
All right.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, podcastjuice.net. Look us up on all of the podcasting channels out there. So places like Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify. We are on there. We're also on YouTube. Prince Podcasts. Just look us up here. And as I always say, work it like a job. We'll see you next time. Peace.